another draft last night, and it's unbelievable. Wojo's column today actually saying Avila shouldn't survive this season. I'm like, wow, all right, Bob, a little late to the party, few years, but welcome. So my question was, what is it going to take? Is there anything that could unfold in this second half that I feel like Rico's going to be right? It's terrifying. 248-539-9797. Let's go to the people. Kevin's in Warren. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Kev.
Sorry you had to come back to this. I feel terrible for you.
You're fine.
Hey, so here's what I think the worst case scenario is that what can make it worse? I'm convinced, I may not be right, but I'm convinced A.J. Hinch is definitely on an opt-out contract. All that hullabaloo is just the fact they don't want to admit he's on an opt-out contract. And you know what? So what's the worst thing that can happen? He is going to opt out after this year, and they're still going to have Avila for the time being, but that could get him canned. But that's the next worst thing that could happen is AJ gets out. We got this stable of crappy players, and we no longer have arguably the best manager in baseball. What are your thoughts, Mike?
I mean, Kevin, I think the opt-out's the most overblown thing, but I think you're spot on. I think if AJ goes in and just says straight up, I don't want to be here no more, you're not going to have him managing $104 million in players. And there's no compete. It's not like AJ would have to go sit out. The Tigers are not in a position to strong-arm anybody. So I don't think you're wrong. And look, if I were AJ Hinch, I wouldn't want to be here. I have someone that I do not believe, this is me speaking as if I'm AJ Hinch, I'm working for someone who's not as smart as me. I'm working for someone who's functionally terrible at their job. I don't want to be here anymore. If I'm AJ Hinch, I'd rather stare at a wall than manage this team. Now,
he's a professional. I think he'll ride out his contract. He's not going to go out there and tank. He realizes this is what it is. We've all been in bad situations and bad jobs before, and you're just like, yeah, you know what? I got to do what I got to do until the summer's over, and then I go back to school.
You know, though, we got to level on something here, too, and I'm guilty of it. You know, I think Hinch is a very good manager. He's not had a good year. And that goes way deeper than the team just being bad. He's done some really weird stuff. Some may call it stupid stuff. He's had a really weird year. And I
call it desperation stuff.
Okay.
Stuff that, you know what? If we just play this thing by the book, we're going to lose. So,
yeah, but you can't. He's leaving pitchers in relief spots, Rico, where like, hey, lefties kill this guy. Maybe I need to go and bring in this guy. He doesn't do it, and he gets killed. Or the Cabrera pinch running thing, or getting outsmarted by La Russa a couple weekends back. Like, that's not the A.J. Hinch I know. We got to stop, and I'm guilty.
I think a lot of it is
got to stop deifying this guy.
I got nothing else to lose here. Why not try? Let's see if this guy got any better. Let's leave him in the game a little bit longer. What's it going to hurt? Going to lose anyway.
All right. According to Rico, we've reached the F-it stage. Brandon, 97.1. What's up, Brandon?
So I think, Mike, you nailed it. We need to just clear things out. JD was my favorite Tiger. Dombrowski picked up that free agent, and Al just traded him away like he was nothing for a guy who doesn't even play for the Tigers in Sergio. And I think the Red Sox, they're buyers. I think they're pushing for Soto and Lane so they can maybe beat Houston in the playoffs.
You know what kills me with JD Martinez is a prime example. Now again, they weren't going to re-sign him, whatever it is. The guy still has an OPS. If it's not 900, it's close. Justin Verlander, he's out here still dominating. Max Scherzer out here dominating. Like, all these guys are still good, and you got back nothing for them. And the one thing you did get back, Isaac Paredes, is in Tampa. And not only did Al take Austin Meadows, he gave up the competitive balance pick. So instead of having a third-round pick tonight, Tampa got that too. And you got a player who can't get out of bed, and then when he does, he blows his Achilles out.
Yeah, that guy is slap rock. Every time you think he's okay, he's not.
Feel bad for the guy.
You do.
Bottom line is, like I heard this morning with Cookies and Stoney, and they're going, well, I don't know if I blame Al for the Erod thing. Why? When it's like someone who has financial problems. Like, at a certain point, the world's not out to get you. You're just bad with money. Al is bad at baseball things. Like, everything goes wrong. Eventually, it's your fault. Like, oh, I can't blame him for Erod. Why? Why? I'm going to blame him for everything at this point because he's been awful. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, stop being an anomaly. Stop being just one here, or maybe just no.
The worst part is, do you understand how hard it's going to be to dig out of this hole he's put them in? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're stuck with bias. There's not a chance in HELL hell he's opting out after next year.
Now, you feel this frustration you have? Imagine if you were the manager of this team.
Oh,
and that's why I say I think he has hit the F it mode. Jesus, man. You know how long? Calls his agent every day. How many more days? Okay, fine. You want to pitch? Pitch. You want to do this? Go ahead. Don't care. Don't care.
It just, what is it going to take? I mean, the idea that we're at the All-Star break and there's still, what, 70 games of this? Yikes. Ivory.
But, hey, Cabrera hit 3,000 hits.
Boy, oh boy. I'm going to tell you something. Good for Miggy. But
you probably can get that bat at a reduced price now.
They are executing one of the great cons of all time because people actually think Cabrera's a good ball player. He's not even league average.
He's all-star.
Okay, then. Let's go to Ivory, 97.1. What's up, Ivory?
Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
What's up, Ivory?
Not much. Hey, I rarely call, but this subject, because I'm a big Tigers fan, has really got me heated because, I always try and give our GMs, and I've been in the city. I'm 47. I've been in the city a long time. I love my teams. I love the Tigers since going back to the Tiger Stadium with my dad. And Avila, we all have jobs where, I have a job where every, 6 months or so, we go through job reviews and, go over your resume. And if you're, take everything aside with a clear head, a clear focus as a fan, whoever you are, especially as a GM, like if you're Chris Ilitch, you're going to, at the end of each season or whatever, 2-3 years, every 2 years, you're going to assess your team and what your GM is doing. Al Avila, if you go back and look at his history, look at all his trades, his free agent signings, and you just said it, Mike, a few minutes ago. Let me say this. I would fire him on the Justin Verlander trade alone. You got nothing for none of your players. All these players, and correct me if I'm wrong, Justin Verlander is a homegrown player, came up through the system, right?
Yep, drafted.
If I was Chris Ilitch, I'd invite him in my office at the end of the season. I'd lay out everything and let him know, Al.
Does Chris Ilitch know who Justin Verlander is?
Right. You got nothing for none of these players. Your free agent, nothing at all. Think about that. You got nothing for these guys.
Well, here's the other thing, too, and I know it's kind of geeky, but, I can simplify it. I mean, Ivory, since 2010, the Tigers have been the worst drafting team in Major League Baseball. If you use WAR, wins above replacement, they're the single worst drafting team in baseball over a 13-year period. Al was supposed to fix the franchise. The player development is bad. The international development is bad. The drafting, also bad. The free agency, bad. Trades, also bad. It's complete malfeasance. Mm-hmm. And he ran another draft last night. It's crazy.
Which is why, going back to your whole A.J. Hinch, I think A.J. had that come-to-Jesus moment that we've all had.
I'm out.
He was stuck in purgatory. Man, nobody's going to take a chance. The Tigers are. You know what? I can go fix the Tigers. And then you bang your head against the wall when you realize, I think I want this more than they want this. And then eventually your will is broken. And I think you see a manager with broken will. I honestly believe he'll go someplace else and he'll become AJ again. And he'll be that manager. But right now, man, he's broken. But who wouldn't be broken knowing there's nothing There's nothing coming behind you.
No. And you know what? Like, if you wanted to dream what you're seeing Julio Rodriguez do with the Mariners, like, that was the dream for Torque or for Green, and they're not that.
Huh.
I mean, like, here's Julio Rodriguez. I just pulled this up. You want to know what a superstar is? He's hitting 275, 16 homers. He's got, 52 ribbies, 21 steals, OPS 814. I mean, a kid's star. Star. From Jump Street. Star. Juxtapose it with the other great hope for the Mariners, Jared Kelenic. Let me help you.
13-game winning streak.
Yeah. No, my point is, you either have it or you don't. Now, look, Torque has time, but, man, there's nothing on the way to help them. Do you know what this feels like?
Torque has time, but then you've already mismanaged half of season with him.
Well, and it's damaging because his confidence